All right, guys, I'm here with a very special guest, absolute killer. You guys know him as probably Trelly, but I got Antrell Taylor in the seat, aka national champion.
Yes, sir.
Trelly, what up?
What's up, man? What it do?
Hey, man, I'm glad we got you in here. I'm actually in Nebraska, and I get to have you in the studio, and I got a ton of stuff I want to talk to you about. And, first things, people think we're going to talk about wrestling, and yes, we are. But before we get to all that, because, we got your national championship and all that stuff, before we get to that, I want to know, back when you're a kid, who's Trelly as a little kid? You wild? You athletic? Like, who's that guy? Where'd you come from? What's your story?
Yeah. So, I was a real wild kid. Got in a lot of trouble when I was little.
Okay.
Because I just had so much energy. I just always wanted to be touching, doing something. But yeah, that's why I honestly got into sports. My dad put me in basketball first, and then I was honestly doing basketball, football, track, and wrestling. I was doing it all. But I started wrestling to get better at football. And then I started doing the freestyle Greco thing, and then took off from there.
So what? How old are you when you start doing sports?
I would say like 4 or 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
I was young.
Yeah, you're young. You're wild. Dad's like, got to get you in something. So he put you in everything.
And I used to play flag football before I played tackle. They had to put me in tackle football early because I was tackling people in the flag games.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you've always been aggressive.
Yeah. Super athletic.
Yeah. Yes. You're an athlete out of the box. Family athletes.
My dad, he played football and wrestled also, but my mom, she ran track.
Okay.
So yeah, they were pretty athletic. My older brother, he played football at Ohio. He's my second oldest brother, but
okay.
Yeah, besides that, I'm the only other one that played sports in college and stuff.
Okay. So what was it that made you, I guess, I mean, you're wiry as a kid, but what gave you that competitive edge? What was that, you think?
I would say the way I grew up, me and my cousins, we were always competitive about everything. We were racing down the street, playing with basketball games, and we used to play this game it was a football game called Killer Man. You throw it up in the air, whoever catch it, everybody got to try to tackle him.
Oh, okay.
We would always be aggressive, and I think that's where my drive for sports and all that came from, just being around my cousins so much. Because I got a bunch of boy cousins, so.
Sure. Yeah, I got it, similar growing up with a bunch of cousins, and we were real rough just because it was the nature of our family.
Yeah,
you got together, you just go out.
Yeah, family events, it was just all out. We was outside the whole time, never inside.
100%.
It was fun.
Yeah, that was actually a ton of fun growing up. And then in my cousins we played basketball, quote unquote, but it was like it was kind of like that Russian basketball you see.
Street ball.
Yeah, completely crazy.
Yeah.
So now when you get into wrestling, are you good fast?
Yeah, honestly, right out the gate, I actually was ahead of my time. I was moving my feet the way I move my feet now. I was bouncing around. I wish I could show you a video, but I was ahead of my time even off the jump. I won like 2 Trinity Awards when I think I won my first one when I was 7. I won my other one when I was like 12 or something, 12 and under. So yeah, I was pretty good since I was a little kid.
Would you find a club, or is that what it was? Did your dad coach you? Or
my dad coached me first. I was at a club called the Bears, and then I went to Ironhawk, which is like, Scut Catholic. You ever heard of Scut Catholic?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it's like their little kids club. And then I went to Manili, and he was actually my coach all the way up through high school.
Oh wow.
Manili it was. So
well, that's cool. I mean, having that history, I mean, that means a lot. He probably knew you as a wrestler, knew how to push you. So you're in wrestling. What do you think? I mean, obviously we said that you were athletic. We said that you're, kind of wild and crazy as a kid. But what else led to kind of success in wrestling? Like, what has caused you to have so much success outside of just, I mean, obviously athleticism is huge. But other than that, like, is there any mindset stuff? Did you always think differently? What caused you to be so successful?
Yeah, I would say I would always think different, because like I've never been satisfied. Like I would win a tournament even when I was little, and I'd just be kind of like, what's next? Like what can I go get next? And I think that strive for greatness is what made me to who I am today. Yeah.
Now was dad?
Yeah,
like
my dad
part of
was.
that?
Yeah, for sure. He molded me from when I was a little kid, and I've took it from there, because he passed away when I was 7.
Oh wow.
So yeah. So he molded me, and then I just took it from there.
So he passed away when you're 7. Did that? I mean, obviously, you're 7, you can only process so much of that, but how much did that affect you in your growth and just as a person? I mean,
Yeah, it affected me a lot because like I was young, but I knew what was going on. Like
yeah.
I seen everything, and I seen how everybody was reacting, and I knew something was up. Like because before I was told he had passed away, every bunch of people were showing up to my house, and I was just kind of like, I wonder why everybody, we having a family gathering.
Yeah.
And then like I seen everybody crying, so then I was like, oh yeah, it's something real. And I ain't seen my dad. I didn't see him all night, so I put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
So it was tough for sure.
For sure. I mean, I lost my dad when I was 33, and me and my dad were super close. Like he was my best friend. And it, even as an adult, that affected everything in my life.
Everything.
I can imagine, in some sense, being a kid, and then like him being your hero, your coach, and all these things, and you getting that news. And if you don't mind me asking, did you know he's sick?
He actually got killed.
Oh, wow.
He was shot.
Man.
He was shot, unfortunately. Yeah.
So it's tragic. Tragedy. You didn't know indication. So how do you deal with that? Like, does people come around you? Do you have other mentors to jump in?
Yeah, it was honestly.
And the only reason I'm asking, there might be somebody out there listening going through the exact same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So I would say my older brother, Antrell, he stepped in and took that father figure. He would take me everywhere like my dad would, and he would make sure I was doing good in sports, staying out of trouble. And so yeah, he was a good role model for me growing up.
Yeah.
And then he unfortunately passed. He got killed also 2 years ago.
Goodness.
So yeah.
Man, I mean, you're from here in Nebraska. I mean, is it a bad area? Is it rough?
Yeah, Omaha is kind of it's a lot of
spots.
Slimy people there.
Yeah.
So, and they'll do whatever. It's bad.
Man.
It's bad in Omaha for sure.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, nobody wants to go through those type of things. But how do you think tragedy has molded you? Has it helped you? Has it crippled you? How have you gone through that?
I would say in the beginning it definitely crippled me, but like now as I'm getting older and I'm growing as a person, I would say it's helped me because I look back on those hard times and I'm just like I've made it through those such hard times, and that's what honestly pushes me to just keep going, because whenever I think about that stuff, my mind's racing. I just go work out. And I'm just like, I got to get my mind off this stuff. So
for sure, and I think I have a quote down actually lower that I was going to say, but it's very appropriate now. But I have kind of a theory, and I don't know exactly. I mean, I believe it, but I know there's some variance to it. But I believe that almost all greatness comes from suffering.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely. I feel like I've suffered so much. It was just bound to happen at a point in time.
It's like the thing about diamonds, how they create it. The coals under pressure for so many years, and it ends up becoming something so pure and beautiful because of the pressure. Without the pressure, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And it seems it sounds like that's your story. I mean, I've seen some incredible stuff, and I'm sure you've had struggles and valleys through all that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even during season, like just thinking, like I look in the crowd, I'm just like, dang, I don't see my brother or my dad in there.
Yeah.
So it's like it's tough. It's definitely tough sometimes. And it's just like we go out to dinner after a duel or something, and I'm always waiting on them two.
Yeah.
So like it's rough. For sure.
That is
it's
tough.
The little things that people don't notice, but I think about it all the time. You probably understand. You
absolutely
you
do.
lost your father, so
absolutely, and it is what I say, and I obviously I lost people in my life prior to my dad, but nobody that
caliber.
Yeah, that caliber. And what was wild about it was this thing that I kind of came up with is that it'll never be normal again. There's a new normal, and so you
gotta adapt to.
You gotta adapt to, but you have this old normal that you remember, and you do kind of get pulled back to thinking, I'm gonna wake up, Dad's gonna be there, or I'm gonna whatever, or you like you said, you look up in a crowd, you're expecting to see it, but and it's almost like this shock that hits you when he's not, but then you can't stay there. Because if you do, you sink.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I mean, I like your thought there too. It's like you found if you struggle, you've hurt so much here, you can accomplish anything because you came out of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's good.
That was
stuff.
just my thought all season this year, especially.
Really?
I just like I've been through so much, man. Like it's bound. I'm keep pushing, getting so close, and it's finally happened.
That's good stuff. So with that, and you got you're a Nebraska boy. So Tell me about that recruitment process. Why? I mean, I assume why Nebraska is because it is close to home. It is, but I seen that photo of you, with the Nebraska stuff on when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
What is that story? Tell me the recruitment process. Tell me why Nebraska.
I would say Nebraska just because I knew since I was a youngin'. Like my dad, he was always having us dressed down in Nebraska gear, and so like I would think back to that, and I'm just like, I want to be the one that can put my city on the map and really represent them in a good way.
That's good. That's real good. And what was that recruitment process like? I mean, they did you go out to any of the schools? Did you?
No, I didn't. It was actually during COVID, so I took one virtual visit to Missouri.
Okay.
But besides that, the only visit I took was to Nebraska.
You knew.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
Manny was hitting my line. It was at 8 in the morning sometimes. I was like, dang, I'm half asleep talking to this dude. He'd be on the phone for 40 minutes. But I knew he had love for me. That right cool. There showed his love. So I know he.
Yeah, I mean, that's who he is, for sure. Did you have a pretty successful high school career?
Yeah, I won 3 state titles. I lost my freshman year, got second.
Okay.
But yeah, I had a pretty successful
how many
career, I would say.
How many losses did you have in high school, if you remember?
Off the top of my head, I would say close to like 10 of them.
Yeah.
But most of them were out of state. Like
gotcha.
I lost at Cheesehead one time. And then a lot of my losses were freshman year, actually, because I took like 7 losses my freshman year. I was losing to guys I should not have lost.
Yeah.
Because I was wrestling at 132, so it was a bunch of seniors.
Oh,
bunch of
wow.
strong dudes, and I still had little kid strength. So
you're 32 as a freshman.
Yeah.
Dang, it's a big freshman.
Yeah.
It's a hard class, too.
It was tough.
Yeah.
Bunch of just strong, stocky dudes. They didn't want to move. I'm like, dang.
For sure. So you obviously have a great, high school career. You get here to Nebraska. When you get here, who's the varsity at 57 at that point?
It was it was Peyton.
P-Rob, yeah. And then who was, because the varsity at 65 would have been Bubba. Okay, so you come in. What is it like when you get to the room? Do you feel like you're getting beat up? Are you scoring points, or what's it like?
Yeah, it was a little of both. I would say certain people, like P-Rob, he was kicking my butt.
Yeah.
But like there's other guys, I would go out there and I'd kick their butt, because P-Rob might have been the only one that was really like consistently whooping me. Other guys, they would take me down here and there, and I get one. But like I feel like when I got into the room, I was in a good position for sure. But it was just the biggest struggle for me was top and bottom. Because like I would get on bottom against Ridge, and I'd be down there for a long time.
Hey, Javen's doing our production back here. He wrestled Ridge last year, and I think Ridge scored like 80 points on him. He said it hurt so bad.
Yeah, he's no fun to be on bottom with, dog. It's no fun. Because we did like a group of 3.
Yeah.
First practice, it was me, Peyton, and Ridge.
Oof.
And you had to get out twice.
Oh my god!
So I would get out one time, and then P-Rob would hold me down. Or Ridge would hold me down, and I'd get out on P-Rob, and then it'd be all bad.
But that, I mean,
I was down for forever.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, that's a tough group.
Yeah.
How important was that for you? You think that helped mold you into the Antrell that we're seeing today?
Absolutely. I remember I took a Snapchat picture after practice. I got my butt kicked. I was like, this is what's gonna make me great. But and it did, honestly. Like Peyton was kicking my butt so bad, man. And then I finally start catching on to how to wrestle in college, because it's so much different than high school. Like the hand fight and the little positions and little things that you got to do. So
that's what I had that as a question. What was the main difference? Was it the hand fighting? Or is that what it was?
Yeah, I would say the hand fighting, just knowing when not hesitate and just pulling the trigger and shooting.
Yeah,
that was the main thing for me also, because I would shoot all the time in high school, but then when I got to college, I was so stuck in trying to figure out the hand fight, and I was missing my opportunities for my shots. So that was my biggest thing, just pulling the trigger. Yeah,
I mean, obviously that's a massive part of your offense, just your explosiveness.
Yeah.
But I think what happens is when you're wrestling someone so great, like the competitors you were just talking about, and you're in that position, you don't feel comfortable like you did in high school. High school, you can't just do what you want, especially like you. It's like you just shoot through people. It was fine.
Literally.
But now you're like, yo, if I shoot and Ridge ends up on top, I'm in trouble.
It's gonna be a long day.
Yeah. So you start, and I've seen a lot of guys that do that. It's like they kind of get stuck in that hand fighting, and they keep every match is like one point.
Yeah, or they get stuck in a little routine. They'll hand fight, do a little fake.
Yeah.
Do the same things over and over.
Yep.
And then they get so stuck, and then the match is over. You just did the same thing for 7 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. So you get in the lineup last year. What's that like? Are you nervous? Are you pumped? What do you feel?
I was pumped. That first duel I shot out of cannon, I think I tired myself out. I was shooting too much. So yeah, I was honestly pumped. I was definitely a little nervous, like the bigger duels.
Yeah.
This is my first time out there. Like Vegas, for example, I went like 2-2. It was just, I would say it was just nerves. It's the biggest tournament I've ever been to. So, but yeah, after Vegas, I felt like I just kind of let free and just started wrestling. Didn't really think about who the opponent was.
For sure. I mean, we knew, obviously, as fans, and Silas obviously told us even when you first got here, he's like, and before you came, he's like, we got a really good dude coming in. And after you got here, he's like, bro, Trelly's special, you know? And we would talk about it. But when I started seeing you wrestle, I was like, this dude has kind of the whole package, but you also have that X factor, you know, just something about you that, and again, I think it comes from that place where you've overcome so much, you know, you don't ever seem to panic.
Yeah, no, I stay real level headed out there.
Yeah.
Like, cause I like to think through the match. Like as the match is going on, a lot of people just blank out sometimes, but I'm sitting there thinking the whole time. Yeah. Just little scenarios like, what if this dude throws me on my back? What am I have to do to come back? You know? Because worst thing can't happen out there. It has happened before, but
yeah. So you're in the practice room. How would you describe the Husker wrestling room?
It's a fight out there. Like today they were doing matches. Because I haven't been wrestling this week, but they were doing matches, and I was sitting back like, dang, we scrap like this all the time. Yeah. And I don't even realize, like, we're fighting in there every day. Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun room.
Yeah. I've been able and blessed to be in the room, and you're right. I mean, people, they get after it, you know. Super, super awesome and fun to watch. But that's what makes you guys so great. This is a question that, it's kind of a new question, but how has the NIL affected you, and how does you think it's affecting wrestling?
I would say it's good and bad, because like there's a lot of people that back in the day that should have been getting paid just for their name and image and likeness. So I feel like it's a good thing, but in other aspects, people use it like, I'm not gonna say no school names, but like they use it in a bad way. I feel like you shouldn't be able to buy other people from teams and stuff. Like if they genuinely want to come to your school, that's one thing. But trying to buy them out, it's another. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I think it's helped a lot.
For sure. I mean, I agree. I love the fact that you guys are being compensated for what you do, and for everything that you do, and there is a monetary gain to the institution you're a part of for you being there, and I think you guys should be cut in on that
for sure.
But now I got to ask you. I mean, you're a national champion. Your price tag went up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
There's got to be, and again, I'm so happy you're a Husker. And I'm so happy that mom lives just down the road, because that's probably what keeping you in the seat, you know. But I mean, there's got to be these people that, I mean, obviously they can't poach you, but it's out there, right?
Yeah.
What do you do with that, man? I mean, because dude, it isn't a stretch to say that Charlie can get him $500,000 somewhere.
Nah, yeah, I just think about the end goal. Like I think I can accomplish all my goals here, and I'm happy here. So I don't see myself going anywhere just for some money.
Sure.
You know,
there's a lot more to it than just money. And that's I knew that'd probably be your answer, and I kind of I wasn't baiting you into the answer, because you could have said, hey, I don't know, we'll see what happens, and I would have. That's fine too. I get that, but I do think there's a lot more to it than just the money.
Manny was saying all money, not good money. So yeah, my mom also said that too. I was like, that's real.
Very true.
Multiple people are saying that. This is the truth.
Very true. Now I will say this, and this is no disrespect to any college or any program, but I do believe that there has to be duality and loyalty, right?
Yeah,
there's a two-way street, and a lot of times
is a big thing.
For sure. Yeah. But it has to go both ways, because what I see sometimes happen is. I'm not saying Nebraska's doing this, but let's say another school, right? And they'll go to their guy, I know you're going to be loyal to us. I know you're going to be loyal to us. And they put that weight on the wrestler, but when it comes back to compensating that athlete, they're not showing loyalty.
Exactly.
So it got to be a two-way street.
Definitely. That's the only way to keep the athlete happy.
That's it. And now,
obviously, got to be a two-way street.
Maybe it's not money for money, but it is it isn't relative in a sense, like it's comparable.
Yeah,
you know,
sure,
like,
sure.
oh yeah, I'll stay here because I want to be here. Plus, I am getting compensated well. I think that that's only fair. I mean, if Nebraska's like, dude, we know you want to be here, we'll give you an additional $500. You gotta be like, yo, like,
on,
just do something else. You know,
for sure.
I just think those conversations are good to have in just an open room. And it seems like the coaching staff here is very open.
Yeah.
You know,
they'll talk to you about anything you ask. So
that's huge.
They're not secretive about nothing.
And I think that's transparency is the way.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah,
like Manning doesn't bite his tongue about anything. Like,
that's
he'll tell it straight to your face.
Yeah.
That's how I like it. Like that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely. And in this transfer portal stuff, you've heard some pretty awful stories.
Yeah,
coaches
going behind the back of athletes.
The other way around. Not
athletes. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
I think you said, like you were talking about, transparency is the only way to kind of navigate through this whole NIL transfer, stuff.
Yeah.
Switching off of that, I just obviously want to know your answer to that, because I mean you're a hot product, you know, and so I was kind of curious where your mind was at with it. But in wrestling, what do you think wrestling itself has taught Antrell Taylor?
I would say discipline, a lot of discipline, and loyalty is another one.
Yeah,
and then fight. So like that, those are big things in life that you need, and so I think that discipline is the main thing. That's like wrestling's taught me so much discipline, man, in all aspects of my life. Food, whatever, everything.
It's across the board. It is across
crazy.
the board.
Yeah.
The question I had associated that was, what does discipline mean to you?
Discipline means just being clean in all aspects of your life, and not cutting no corners in anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because my other theory, one of the theories I have, is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Exactly.
That it all bleeds into each other.
Yeah.
So if Charlie's going to be a national champion and is a national champion, but other areas of his life are lacking, he might have struck gold once, but I believe it'll go away.
Yeah.
But if you clean up all your life and you're a national, quote unquote, national champion human,
they can't take it away.
You can't take it away.
No.
You know, yeah. So we're on the same page with that one. So,
sure.
So what else are you involved in? What are you studying? What's your hobbies? I mean, what's your thing?
I study child, youth, and family development right now, but I honestly just want to be a coach. I don't really. I really don't know what else I would like to study, because I'm gonna be here a couple more years. So I feel like I can change what I want to do, but honestly, I don't know. I still don't know yet.
Sure.
People ask me all the time. I'm just like, dang, I'm so stuck in if I want to coach or actually just go do something else.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm a wrestler for a long time.
That's true.
That's the goal. So
you're looking, okay, I'm going to do my couple more years of college, but you're looking international, world team, Olympic team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Trying to wrestle till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, for sure. Do you love this sport?
Yeah, I love it. That's the only way I think you can do this sport for a long time is, especially in college, because you got to have a love for the sport to go 5 days out the week and then wrestle a duel on the weekend. It's a grind. Then cutting weight on top of that, like, you got to really love this sport. In order to do it.
For sure. Like, there's a lot of people that think they love it until they start.
And they get hit in the face, and it's a rude awakening.
Yeah. I mean, because it is tough.
It's definitely not for everyone.
No.
I would say.
Is there been any time in this whole process that you were like, yeah, I don't want to do this?
My redshirt year, it was times I come to practice, I'm like, man, I'm doing this for no reason. but then it was like I clicked out of that, and I'm like, I'm actually going to practice and this is just to learn, like, to figure out and mold myself into a new wrestler, because it's college is, like I was saying, so much different than high school. And so redshirt year was tough, but I got through that, and I knew it was gonna make me make a lot of jumps and change my wrestling. So
what was it?
Focused on
what was it that actually pulled you through that time? Because that's a real quick thing for not just wrestlers. There's moms out there like, hey, yo, I'm throwing in the towel. I don't want to do this no more. Work. I don't want to do this no more. What brought you through that process?
I would just always think about my family, because I'm a huge light in my family, and they love to see me do what I do, and I feel like if I were to quit, it would hurt a lot of people. Yeah. And so I would say, that my family keeps me going.
That makes sense.
For sure.
I know faith is a big part of your life as well.
Yeah.
How has faith helped your wrestling and your life? How you merge those two? Yeah,
honestly, I started growing my faith a little bit more after my brother passed, because I stopped going to church for a little bit just because it was my mind wasn't in the right space, you know. Yeah, and so honestly, this past year I've been growing my faith and talking with Manning and doing Bible studies and stuff like that. It's truly helped me just because there's a lot of hidden gems in the Bible that point you in the right direction that you don't really get out of. Because a lot of people go get like motivational books and stuff, you know, which those are good too. But I feel like the Bible has a lot of hidden gems in it.
Absolutely,
sure.
It's always interesting when you pick up the Bible and how it seems so written and relevant for you in that moment.
It's crazy. I was reading one scripture. I don't remember the scripture, but it was just like, it felt like it was just telling my life and how I do certain things. I'm like, dang, you watching me?
Exactly. I've been a pastor, you know, throughout the years, and after I've given message before, I've literally had people come up to me and be like, "Yo, dude, like, if you wanted to talk to me, you should just pull me aside." And I'm like, "What are you saying?" And they're like, "What you were saying up there." I was like, "Buddy, I promise you, I have no idea what you're talking about. It was just a word that I gave, but I'm willing. I would love to talk to you, but I mean, that's what hits you though. Yeah, it's different.
I feel like whenever, because I haven't been to church in a little bit, but like whenever I do end up going, it's a lot. Like the talk is, it seems like it's towards me, like you were saying. Yeah, it honestly does.
Yeah, I like that though. I love when I get those, even just like you hear a word, or you read something or whatever, and it feels so directed to you. I'm like, it just shows you that God knows.
Yeah.
And He's listening and He's feeling. He's with you.
Absolutely.
It's personal. You know. So, if you were talking to some young men, young women, kids. And they were going to get involved in the sport of wrestling, what advice would you give them?
I would say don't expect to be great at the beginning, because a lot of kids expect to just be super good at the beginning. It takes a lot of work in order to perfect your craft in the sport, and it takes years on years. Like there's still guys that are 30 years old on the senior level trying to like for James, for example, he's trying to change his wrestling every single day. So I would say just not expecting the great things to come up immediately.
Right.
Just keep going, just keep pushing, coming to practice every day.
Yeah.
And just do the hard work and be one of the hardest workers in the room, and the results will come with it.
I like that. So it's show up, be the hardest worker in the room, and then eventually, inevitably, the wins will come, the success will come.
Yeah. And if not, then you just got to continue. There's something you're doing wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
You just got to continue to clean something up. Clean something up and continue to work.
That's good. And I think that's applicable to anybody, anywhere, not just wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was my next question. If you had some words of advice to those that aren't in the sport of wrestling, just life stuff, like what would you tell those people? The world's hard, man.
Yeah, it is for sure. I would say don't get so stressed on don't let the little things stress you out. That's one thing I've been working on myself, just because I got a different type of temperament, so not letting the little things affect how I react, and just staying real level-headed in life and taking everything one step at a time.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself an emotional person?
Sometimes. Not like crying emotion, like mad.
Mad,
I get mad like that, so that just comes from wrestling, I think, too. So
what does anger look like to you?
I like to be by myself, when I get mad. I don't like to
shut it down, get away. Anger, biblically and just in general, it's what it is unmet expectation.
Exactly. That's usually why I'm mad. Like it's something I knew I could have got, and I'm just like, I missed it,
Yeah. And if it's anger with yourself, or outside of yourself, the reality is one thing I always like to remind people is the expectations that you have in your life are the ones you set. So you can change those expectations anytime you want. If it's something you're trying to rise yourself to, that's a good expectation. But maybe it's an expectation you had on somebody else, but most people aren't aware of your expectations of them. So we get frustrated and mad about something we set. So
and they don't even know.
They don't have no idea. So you can free yourself of that anger by changing the expation or articulating it to them.
Yeah, that's good.
People forget to do that though. Like I'm so mad. They're like, what about what? They did this, and this. Do they know? Nope.
Usually 9 times out of 10 they don't have a clue. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good word.
Yeah. So another couple things that we like to say in our life is what you tolerate dominates. And so in our life, that soft spot, that weak spot, that thing that you're just not addressing, will end up dominating your level of success. Are there areas in your life that you're pushing through and trying to get better in?
I would say area of my life I'm trying to get better in.
And maybe not, because you're a national champion. You have to be doing a lot right.
There's definitely things in my life I would like to change. Like procrastination is a big thing in my life.
Gotcha.
I would say just trying to taking too much. I like to do things at the last second. That's my thing. Because I think when
the pressure of it, you like the pressure of it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I just like the pressure of just doing something last minute. But like I feel like I need to think when I think about doing something, I just got to go do it.
Yeah,
that's a big thing for me. Just doing something when I think about it.
I think procrastination, and I struggle with that sometimes as well. But I think it robs you of time, because even you think that it's giving you more time, but mentally it takes up so much space of the thing you're supposed to be doing that it robs all that time until you do it.
Yeah.
Because you're never really free of it. So when I do something, I can put it away and I can free myself up, and I have to think of it that way, because a lot of times I'm like, I don't want to do it right now because I got other things to do.
Exactly. Then you don't end up doing other things
exactly.
you got to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly what I think.
Another thing that we like to say, and I'm just curious of your thoughts on this, is we say excuses are lies you tell yourself. Are you an excuse maker?
No, I like to just take it right to the chin.
Accountability, straight up.
I hold myself accountable for sure.
Yeah. How has that helped you?
I think it's helped me a lot. Just like seeing things for how it is. That's just, if somebody does something wrong, I'm just like, maybe that's just how the state of mind they're in. Or if I lose a match, I just got to take it to the chin. I shake the dude's hand, walk up the mat, and see how I can get better.
Yeah, I've seen you drop just very few matches, but I've seen you drop a match, and I do love the way you take it. It is as a man, it is as a competitor. You're not smiling. No, you're not happy.
I'm definitely pissed. But, But like I gotta hold that in, and it's just like I'm gonna get you next time. I'm gonna shake your hand, look you in the eye, and just
What's your thoughts straight after a loss? How do you what are you thinking? How are you recalculating? What's the process there?
I instantly think back on like the moment because there's usually a time where I probably could have shot where I didn't, or I think back to, let's say, I'm gonna give you an example, like the Downey match, when I drove him out of bounds with double unders at the beginning of the match, and they gave me the stall call.
Yep.
And then at the end of the match, I drove him out, and then they gave me a stall call. And so like I think back to that all the time, and I'm just like, okay, stuff's gonna happen in that match. That ref was obviously not on my side,
Yep.
And so I can't control that.
Sure.
And so I just how I approach that is
I like that. I like the fact that you're looking at the match objectively, and you're not saying you could have came up and said the ref screwed me.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is default what we want to say.
I definitely said a few words of Downey, but
I mean, if we were mad at the opponent, we're mad at the ref, and you're probably right on every level.
Yeah.
But those two variables you can't change. The only variable you can change is you.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that you're going back to it. And I also like to tell people all the time that I want everything to be my fault. Because when it's my fault, I have the ability to change.
Exactly.
So if I come off the mat and go he, and I'm like, I have no power there. Instead,
power.
Me. What did I do? What can I change? When it's my fault, I have all the power.
Exactly. That's why I love wrestling so much, because it's an individual sport. Like when you out there by yourself, and so you always know what you did wrong and did right. So you can't really like shy away from what's right in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, for sure. So your coaches in your corner, I know they mean a lot to you. Just tell me a little bit about the coaching staff and who they are and what they mean to you.
Yes, we'll start with Snyder. So he means a lot, man. So he was, I would say, the breaking point for me and his relationship was when he showed. So my brother passed, like I was saying, he showed up at my house because he lives not like probably 10 minutes from my house in Omaha.
Wow.
And he showed up there, and it was like he was making sure he was checking in on me all the time, and that's when me and Snyder started to really get close. And so I have a lot of love for him. And then
for sure.
Tervel, I've known Tervel for a while. He came up to my high school actually one time, and he had said some funny stuff. He was like, if you guys want to come to college, you got to work a little harder than this, because our practice wasn't nothing. It was actually kind of soft, but yeah, Tervel, he's not like, well, he talks good like as a group to the team, but he doesn't like, what's the word for it? Like he's quiet off to the side, but like he shows a lot of love to you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then James is kind of the same way, but I wrestle with him every day, so I know it's always love there. And then Manning, he always he's there whenever, man. He was at my brother's funeral, sitting right next to me, man.
Wow.
So he means a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you got the coaching staff across the board. I mean, they are so diverse and so different in a lot of ways. But
yeah, for sure. I think that's what makes them mold together so good.
They do.
They give off different vibes.
Yeah.
Whichever one you talk to.
But and then I think the consistent thing is just they are so loving and caring about the human, not just the wrestler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that perspective because that's how I feel on the outside looking in. You know. So
absolutely.
So I don't know if you already heard this before, but our DNA, who we are as a person, is actually just a storage drive. Mm-hmm. It's a memory drive of our ancestors and people before us. In your family line, man, is there things that you're carrying forward? I say you're either a taker or a breaker. Mm-hmm. You either take what's been given to you in your DNA in that storage drive, good, bad, and different, and you carry it on. Yeah. You take it on to your kids and to the next generation, or you're a breaker. Yeah, you change things.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably the breaker of like the little because we got a little generational like curse. You know what I'm saying? So I would call it a curse. Yeah. So I'm trying to break that right now.
Yeah,
as we speak. So
and
I would say more of a breaker.
Good.
Sure.
You're spreading that light and changing things. Mm-hmm. That's a powerful thing, man, because I can tell you it is not just going to be for you. Yeah. It will be for your children, your children's children, and so forth. Mm-hmm. And they will know some down the road, they will know why they feel like champions.
Exactly.
But Antrell Taylor, great-great-great-grandpa, was a champion. Mm-hmm. And you set that forward. I think we forget that we have that ability.
Yeah, oftentimes do, for real. Like,
we feel like we're just doing it for now.
Exactly.
But no, you're changing generations with who you are.
Building a legacy.
Yeah. That's a powerful thing, man.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm dude, I love watching it. I mean, I can see it happening. Yeah. And the cool thing is, I get a front row seat to not only your performance and what you're doing, but I get to see on the backside with your family. Mm-hmm. I see your family in the stands and how they're reacting. You're changing them too.
Yeah. And I don't even realize it, but like. Yeah, I can see like when I walk off the mat how much love and how the smile my mom have on her face. So it's insane how much and even like my niece and nephew they're changing so much just off watching me wrestle and because they're like 6 years old, so they're just growing into little miniature people for real now. It's crazy. Real. So it's crazy. It's crazy to just see that.
What's wild about it is if it wasn't you. And you would have went off and just did whatever everybody else did around you. Mm-hmm. What would those little nieces and nephews been looking at?
Man, it would have been bad.
Right.
Like it was just because I could have took myself down a bad road. So and then I just thought back to like I can't. My niece and nephew look up to me every day, like the little things I do. So I just when I was sitting there thinking like after my brother passed, I'm like I can't just give it all up. I've came too far.
Yeah. Did you kind of step into that role as your brother did for you whenever?
Yeah, with my niece and nephew, absolutely. Because his little daughter, she was messed up. She was the same age as me, like no, she was a little younger. Yeah, a little bit younger, but she knew what was going on still, like same as I did. Yeah. And just to see how it's turning out again, it just feels like a replay in life. I'm just looking at her, and that was me at a point in time. So it's just honestly, it's just crazy.
For sure,
it's crazy.
Andrew, how are you putting yourself in position to protect yourself and your family? If you're back in that area, because people are going to try to pull you down.
Yeah, for sure. Jealousy. Jealousy is crazy.
Are you staying clear of all that?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to stay out the way as much as I can. Because I know there's definitely people out there that don't like what I'm doing. You know, so I just try to steer clear of all that stuff.
That's good. That's real good, man. So I guess I asked you this a little bit earlier, but in some sense, but what I believe you have to have something bigger than you that's pulling you forward, that's calling you forward. What and I think I know the answers because we kind of been talking about, but what's pulling you?
My dad and my brother. I write it on my shoes each pair of shoes I get for wrestling. I write them on there because I know they with me every single match, and I think about them and like they not here, they can't do what I'm doing. Yeah, and so I do it for them.
Yeah, it's huge. So. That's good stuff. What does living mean to you? Truly living.
Truly living? That's a good question.
Because you got to know it. Because a lot of people go through life and they go, I want to be happy. But what does happy mean, right?
Exactly.
And if you don't know the answer, if you don't know where you're going, and you know this in wrestling, if you don't know where you're shooting, and you're just shooting or you're just doing whatever, it has no purpose and it has no place to go. It's erratic. It's like we say, it's like a boat without a steering wheel, right? It just floats, and wherever the waves take it, that's kind of how life is without knowing the detail of what you want.
Yeah.
I ask you what living, really truly living means to you, because I want you to know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I honestly don't have an answer to that one. What does living mean to me? I would just say, like, being free, living in the moment is something I try to emphasize and bring into my life. So, yeah, just that's what I got right now. I got to really think on that question.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, yeah, I think there is some beautiful things that come out of just like the flexibility of like living in the moment.
Yeah.
And I think the other big thing is on the other side of it is just saying, this is what I want out of life, knowing exactly, refining that, right? Like if Antrell wants a daggone Lamborghini, tell me the color, how it smells, what it looks like, how you feel when you're sitting in it. Because when it becomes reality in your mind, there's no difference from your mind than the physical.
Yeah,
but when you just say, I want to be happy, that's nothing.
Oh yeah, you can say you're doing it whatever and be happy.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that I think that's an important thing to define. And this is the other side of that question, and I think we need to know what this answer is too. But what's dying mean to you? Not physically, but what does it mean to exist and not truly live?
I would say doing the same things, doing the same bad habits over and over, and just not getting anywhere with, like, you think you're doing something, but you're just honestly diminishing yourself.
Yeah, that's big. And that's a great meter for you. If you ever find yourself doing the same thing and not getting anywhere, just know you define that as dying. Yeah. So you can check yourself. Like, am I living or am I dying? Am I just doing the same thing and not getting anywhere? Because if so,
that's real.
That's dying for you. You know, some people say, working in a cubicle. If you find yourself sitting in a cubicle working, you just said that that's the definition of dying. Yeah. You know, so we need to know those answers.
For sure.
What do you value, man? What's Antrell value?
I would say loyalty is what I truly value. Like loyalty and like the honor, like people, not people honoring me, but like having the respect. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I feel like in order to get anywhere, you have to have mutual respect with somebody, and so that's a big thing in my life.
I think it's,
and loyalty, that's everything to me. Yeah, so that's
and it's kind of a lost thing in our world.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that, people don't think about that.
No. Marriage is not nothing. Nobody's loyal to anyone anymore. It seems like
seriously. People always try to go behind somebody back trying to do something. Yeah,
that's good. Wrestling question. What's your favorite move?
Double leg.
Or
body lock. Double leg to the body lock. You know what I'm saying? They both go hand in hand.
Yeah. Are you a JB double leg guy? Did you watch him growing up? Is that your?
Yeah, I actually did watch him. He was probably one of the only people I really watched growing up.
Okay.
But yeah, his double leg, he likes to shoot through people's face. I like to hit him right in the chest, something. But every once in a while, got to go through their face.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I
like
would say the JB double.
That's good.
That's my go-to.
Now wrestlers are, traditionally, we like our food. What's Antrell like? What food do you like, man?
Wings.
Hot wings. That's your go-to.
Yeah, some cookies.
Oh, okay.
Some insomnia cookies. That's
right.
I was telling Silas one day, that's my go-to, man. I gotta try it.
David knows every time there's an insomnia somewhere or a crumble. This guy knows. He knows.
Insomnia, no joke, man. It's a real deal.
For sure. What's your favorite thing to do outside of wrestling, or is it wrestling?
Favorite thing to do outside of wrestling. I like to play basketball, play football. Still like to try to do athletic things,
Yeah. You're not like a gamer or anything like that?
Yeah, I like the game. I play Call of Duty a little bit.
Okay.
Call of Duty, college football. I play that still.
Cool. So if I was going to ask you what the Mount Rushmore of wrestling is, listen, Flo started asking that question. I'm the OG of that question. So they can jump off because that was my question.
They like to hop on people's trains all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. And about wrestling, don't have to be the 5 people, but just who your favorite people wrestling. It could be freestyle, it could be folk style, men, women, doesn't matter.
JB number 1 for sure. I'm gonna put James on there too.
Yeah,
I loved watching James, like, cause I watched a lot of his international matches like these past few years since he's been our coach. So I would say James is up there. Who else? I watched Aaron Pico.
Okay, yeah.
I wish he kept wrestling.
Yeah.
He would have been cold. He started fighting, but
I know he's got a fight coming up soon.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought he's still fighting. I thought I saw that the other day. It's coming up soon. Yeah.
Yeah, but I watched him growing up a little bit, and then Chamizo, I watched him quite a bit. I watched him win his first world title in Vegas when he was young. When Kyle Snyder won his first one, actually. Yep. And then who else would I say is somebody I watched a lot growing up? Then one of my high school, my coach growing up, Todd Manili.
Yeah,
he was tough.
Yeah,
he was tough. He went to Iowa, but he didn't. He wrestled for like a year, and I think he got in a little bit of trouble. But
gotcha.
Then he won 3 NCAA titles at UNO.
Wow,
so he was solid.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot off of him.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Who are your heroes?
My heroes. I would say my brother Antrell, my dad. Those are my heroes, man.
Yeah,
that's all I get.
Yeah,
those are my heroes. Seriously.
Yeah. If you could have another conversation with those 2 people, what would you say?
What would I say? It would be a lot of things. What is one thing?
Because I know I long for that one more conversation with my dad.
What is one thing you would want to tell me before you had left? Like, cause I never got a last conversation with either of them. So
yeah,
that's one thing they would have said to me.
Yeah. Well, I know they're proud of you. That's
sure.
That's the thing without saying. So if you're writing the Trelly chapter in the Fighting for Success book, what do you want it to say? What do you want people to know about Trelly and his success and how he got there?
I would say the little things I had to do and like the sacrifices I had to make and things I had to overcome. That's like the biggest thing, because that'll make you know how I act, like how I am as a person. Those little things, figuring out those little things will tell you how I act, why I act, how I move, and all that type of stuff. You know.
How was it winning the national championship? Was it everything you thought it'd be? What were you thinking? Give me the play-by-play, man.
Yeah, it was everything and then some. It was nuts. Like, my phone was blowing up. I'd never seen my phone blow up like that in my life. It was honestly insane. And my mom was also crying. I kind of expect my mom and them to cry, but it was just a smile on her face as she was crying, because I knew it was tears of joy. It wasn't no sad tears no more, you know. So it was amazing seeing her smiling.
That's cool. Favorite match of all time was that match?
The semifinals match. That was my favorite match of all time.
Yeah.
I was riled up after that.
That was a good one.
I was on live TV cussing and stuff. I was like, I was wilding.
That was you. Wait, did you do the airplane after that one? Or
I did the airplane, everything. I was running all over the mat. I loved it. I'm lit.
Yeah, that was good. That was good stuff. Who would you, if you could challenge some people to be in that seat that you think could have a good story or would help people, or maybe gain something from being in that seat? Who would you like to see?
Caleb Smith. Like, he has a strong word. He knows how to talk. Yeah. And how to like cater to people that are like he would talk to me after every match when I'm mad, and I usually don't even like to talk to people when I'm mad. So man, he was able to like get me out of that state of mind and really tell me some good things I needed to hear at the point in time.
That's good stuff. So one of the last questions I have for you here, and then I'm gonna say a couple things, then we'll jump out. But what does success mean to you?
Success that's everything for me, man. It's trying to accomplish my goals to the fullest, like not leaving anything in the tank, just going all out and accomplishing everything and trying to leave it untouched. I know JB has some untouched records, but I hope I can get to where he's at. You know,
right? That's good. So as I bring guests in and we sit in this seat and we talk, I like to just pray about the guest that's gonna be there, and I know he's a wrestler and I'm a fan of yours wrestling, but I just like to get a word, and I know we kind of share, similar faith, our faith and stuff like that. And some people don't.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. But I like to just allow God to kind of speak to me. And, so, I say, give me a character, something that, this person can, gain perspective from or learn, maybe it challenges them or maybe it don't. But as I was praying and thinking about you, God gave me the character, the person, Zacchaeus. And Zacchaeus in the Bible, if you're not familiar, maybe you are familiar, but he was a chief tax collector. Okay. And now that job was not a very popular job, as you might think. So in his community, there's people that were haters. And as I was praying about this, I was thinking to myself, I was like, but Antrell's awesome, man. But then I was like, God said, when you mentioned it a little bit ago, but there's people that are not going to like his success. And
they want to be in those shoes,
Yes, exactly. And so God was saying, and so Zacchaeus, the story is Jesus is coming to town. Zacchaeus, not people, too many people like him. So he's trying to get a view of who Jesus is. So he wants to see him, right? So he climbs up this tree, and he's up in this tree, and he's looking, trying to see Jesus. And Jesus notices him up in the tree and says, hey, today I'm going to eat with you in front of everybody. Right? So Jesus notices this man that everybody else is counting out and says, that's my guy. Right? Yeah. And so they dine together, and Jesus goes to this man's house and transforms this dude's whole life because he's noticed. Right? And so when I was praying about this and I was thinking about this, I just wanted to encourage you. There are going to be people that are going to show hate, but you have the attention of Jesus.
Yeah.
He wants to do something special with you. He wants to bring you out among your enemies, among the haters, and he wants to put you on display as his. Absolutely. And when we do that, that's the platform that we get to give it all back to him. And so I just, I love that word for you. Yeah,
that was a good one. I like that.
Yeah. So I hope you can resonate with that. And whenever you're going through it, just say, I'm the man in the tree. Yeah. I'm the man that the Lord notices. He's gonna dine with me, So, dude, ultimately, we're huge fans. We love who you are. We love what you're doing. And we're massive Trelly fans. Can't wait to see you get a couple more.
Absolutely.
And we got to run this back.
Absolutely. We can definitely. This is an amazing time. We can definitely do this whenever you're in town, man.
I appreciate it, man. Sure. Well, brother, keep fighting for success, bro.
Absolutely.
All right, that's a wrap.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Come on. That was dope, man. That was dope.